Hi, fellow seekers. I'm Ryan. This is RNS Ministries developing his worldview. This is season 1, episode 6. And today we are going to talk about the show on Amazon Prime called The House of David. The House of David has one season. It is a fairly new show. They just released the episodes about a month or two ago, earlier in 2025, and I was, y'all know by now, like, this is episode 6. Like, if you've watched, some of the sermons and other stuff, you know that I'm a skeptic. Like I am just it's just how God wired me. Like, I'm a skeptic about these things, again, because as we talked about last week about The Chosen, it's like some of the stuff is good, some of the stuff is been Hollywood, been influenced by Hollywood and everything. But we a lot of the stuff has been cheesy or not well done, and I'm just skeptical about it. So I was skeptical, but somebody was telling me that they had watched a couple of episodes and they had actually really liked it, and I'm like, okay, well, um if you liked it, then let's give it a shot. I watched. I think I came in where they were at episode. They'd released 4 or 5 episodes of the first season, and I had, like, binge watched it and got caught up, and then I had to wait for the last, like, 3 or 4 episodes to come out, and I was just like, oh my gosh. Because I'm used to kind of binge watching stuff all at once, and I'm not used to having them wait for them to release it. So, but when I watched it, it was I was pleasantly surprised, actually. There is one thing that I did not like, and that is David's heritage and what they do with that. And it's about his, again, it's about his heritage, and I don't want to spoil it for you, but there is some stuff about his heritage that they do with that I really questioned. And there are some other guys out there. Brandon on The Chosen Sleuth. He's actually done some reviews on the House of David. It wasn't until I was watching his information on this that I found out that actually the stuff about David's heritage is actually Jewish tradition, and it's not scriptural. Because, of course, I'm looking at scripture, and I'm like, this is not biblical. Like, I don't know what they're trying to do here, but it is not biblical. Well, turns out that it's actually in Jewish heritage, and Jewish tradition. So that's kind of where they got that. So, thank you. Shout out to Brandon and the Chosen Sleuth. If you're not subscribed to him, like, he goes in depth in all of the Chosen episodes, and a lot of the Christian media coming out nowadays. You can go recommend I would highly recommend you go and subscribe to his channel if you want a more in-depth kind of view. I'm just doing an overview of these things. So, um but all in all, like, the show is actually, they stick to the scriptures for the most part. The one thing I will tell you that I loved is Samuel. I'm not sure who the actor is. The guy who plays Samuel is fantastic. Like, they couldn't have done that any better, because Samuel's one of my favorite Old Testament guys, because it just it's really well done. I love Samuel, and in the show he's portrayed very well. Um, I also liked the production quality with Goliath and the giants was really good as well. I again, I was pleasantly surprised that the show was as good as it was. Um, yeah, it was a it was really well done for what I could tell. There is another aspect. I forget which episode this is in about Goliath. It is his mom and all of that stuff. But you could tell that in the introduction in the beginning of the show, you could tell it was done with AI. Like there's no there's no mistaking that it was done with AI. And not that I have a problem with that, but it was just really obvious that it was something AI created. But overall, I would highly recommend going and watching the House of David. Um, Keep your biblical worldview ears on, keep them open, test everything to the scriptures. There are things that they do have to take license with. You know, it's just how it is. I mean, it's, you know, when you're adapting the Bible to the screen, there's just things that they're just not going to have details. It's like I mentioned last week with The Chosen and the Gospel of John production that they did a number of years ago. Um, you know, unless you are like the Gospel of John and go word for word through the scripture, there's going to be some things that are just not, there's going to be some things that are just not in there. So keep that in mind as you watch the show. Don't rely on, again, The Chosen, House of David, no matter what the show is, don't rely on the show to give you your biblical basis for this. Always, always go to the Bible and check this stuff for yourself. Do the research, do the homework, and look into the scriptures and seek things out for yourself. Okay? Always seek the face of God. I want to encourage you to like this video, hit the subscribe button if you like this kind of content. Hit the bell notification so that on Fridays at noon when this series drops, you can find out and you'll be alerted to the fact that we dropped a new video. I thank you, seekers, for joining me, and we will see you next time on Developing His Worldview. And until then, God bless you.